very excited to welcome up to the stage for a view from the top, the Southern Company CEO, Chris Womack. Chris, welcome to Axios. Chris, thanks so much for being here and making this possible. Let's start big picture. The Southern Company has committed to net zero 2050. Give us an update.
So back in 2018, we established what we viewed as a low to no strategy of looking where we were and how do we progress toward 2050 with net zero carbon emission reductions, and recognizing that, knowing that we didn't have the technology to really get to zero, and we still don't. But I think there's a deep commitment to get to net zero. But in 2018, we started with a low to no strategy, and in 2020, we migrated to a net zero pathway. We look back at kind of where we were coming, say, 2007, and we've seen some 46% emission reduction since that time. And we set a goal of being net zero by 2050, and we had an interim target of 50% by 2030. We're 46% there now, and we expect to be there by 2025 in terms of that interim goal. We started, once again, looking around 2007 baseline, having about 66 coal plants, about 20,000 megawatts of capacity. We reduced that now down to about 15 facilities, and we reduced some 11,000 megawatts of coal capacity. So we've been making this transition. Let me give you another data point. I looked at first quarter of this year. We had our generation energy mix was, coal was about 18%, renewables was about 18%. We had natural gas around 50%, but that looks at, that once again, going back to 2007, where we had coal capacity, coal energy was around 70% of our energy mix back at that time, and we had less than 1% renewables. So that's kind of this orderly transition that we're making toward net zero in a reasonable, orderly fashion that takes into consideration all the stakeholders, all the things we must do, factor in all the above, all the factors that we must really pay a lot of attention to, and particularly around reliability and resiliency, but also more importantly around the issues of affordability. There's, you look at the market, you look at the economy today, inflation, high interest rates, volatility in energy prices, particularly natural gas. Natural gas is kind of $2 a million BTU now or less. We saw last year, because of the Russia-Ukraine crisis, we saw gas in the double digits. And so when you look at that kind of volatility and what that has done to energy bills, it's put a lot of pressure on a lot of our customers. And so affordability is a real issue. So as we make this orderly transition, as we make sure we're doing things like all the above, every arrow in the quiver, making sure we're all utilizing all the resources, it's principally to make sure that we go through this transition in an orderly fashion that takes into consideration the needs of the environment, the needs of our customers, and the needs of the company as we go forward.